Good morning, everyone. Let's have a look at a bit of crypto then, shall we? So a bit of a move up yesterday, which is fine actually. It's fine. We're just looking at XRP for now. Slightly better than it has been in a while. So we hit this big move up here, and again like $3.60. You know, who would have thought it? Hey, who would have thought XRP? Me. But you know, consolidation from then. The next lower high, $3.34. I mean, it's still a good price, isn't it? It's still consolidating, is it? Okay, no big deal. And yesterday we hit the trend line once again. I know it looks like we're above it, but there's a lot going on in this market. It could easily drag it back down, but it's still not bad. And the price is just below $3. This has been a good bull market, guys. It just has. Okay, there's no way to take away from the fact that XRP is sitting around $3. Not $500, I appreciate that, but $3, come on now. This has been a good bull market. The main thing is, we're above all moving averages, apart from this silly little 50 simple moving average, which doesn't often get used for much anyway, just keep it on here for a laugh. But, yeah, the 20, the 21, the 50, the 10, the 7, they're all here. And we're in the cloud now, but leading portion of the cloud is a big fat red boy over here, so it's, you know, it's just a giant piece of red. It's never a good look for immediate continuation from an itchy cloud perspective, although it will subside if we keep hanging around these prices. So, but like, I wouldn't say immediately, but forget about the itchy cloud for now. It's not the only thing out there. You know, we're sat in the middle of the cloud, Chiku spans in the cloud. It's also, by doing that, it's basically telling us it's a bit of a neither here nor there trade. It's like a kind of a 50-50 environment. And slightly above 50-50, I'd say, because we're above Bollinger Bands and all moving averages. But, you know, are we above the trend line, or are we in the trend line, or is the trend line, you know, what are we looking at here? Well, we're just looking at a chart which has had a move up. If we continue, though, like, and get above the cloud, that would be great. In fact, make another local high, which would be anywhere above about 310. We should be alright after that. Looking over here on the weekly, though, again, I'm always having to reflect on weeklies, because the weekly's still good. Like, the weekly is above all moving averages, mostly getting a rejection on a 7 simple, but mostly above all. But more importantly, the 20 and the 21, you know, that's the line in the sand. It's the midway point. It's the 65% chance in your favour point. That's what it is, and that's where we are. And so the weekly's still good. And again, the crypto charts on well, not all charts, but a lot of charts are good. Now we go to the 4 hourly. It tells us a slightly different story. There's bullish things, there's bearish things. You can see it. So we've got a rejection, a clean rejection on a 200 simple moving average. So that is a death cross retest, unfortunately. But we also have a pump signal that was generated, well, yesterday. Now, the pump signal was generated at this level in the pump. So that means to me that the pump signal is still in play. I know that we already moved into resistance here, but I think this one is still in place. So I think we attempt to move back up to $3 again based on the 4 hourly if the rest of the market will allow it. So that's your XRP for you. We haven't really looked into XRP for a while now, have we? And so it's worth having a little check. In fact, just for good measure, because we used to look at this all the time. Now we're just sitting comfortably. There's not really a great deal of point looking at it, not after getting this massive pump. Whoa! That we can just sit back and chill in it. But, you know, reflecting on it, what do we see? Well, we just see a bullish chart, bullish chart, bullish chart. To be honest with you, I'm just going to make this video about XRP. There's no point in me talking about everything. I'm doing a live stream tomorrow night, so if you want to join the Patreon, you know, there's a link for that, and we can look at all kinds of stuff. But I do like XRP, and I feel like I feel like we've neglected it. So, you know, the rest of the market is basically the same as it's been for weeks. Neither here nor there, neither up nor down. It's kind of choppy, side to side. As much evidence as there is for continuation up as there is for down, which basically makes it crap to trade. But XRP is slightly different. So we're looking at this on a monthly. Obviously, it's quite hot on a monthly, but absolutely can get so much hotter than this as it has in the past. No bearish divergence here. Just consolidation from that peak around here in January 2025. So the monthly for the Bitcoin pair is good. Now, if we move over to the weekly, what do we see? well, we see something pretty awesome going on over here. Very awesome indeed. In fact, in the coming weeks, this should materialize into a trend signal on the Itchy Cloud. So it's a really good look. There's lots of good things to talk about with XRP on this Bitcoin pair. So we've got a golden cross here, a golden cross here, a retest of it here, perfect retest. Now, I often say that these golden cross retests should often get played. You know, it's up to you what you do. Obviously, your risk management is key, but well, I almost always try to trade a golden cross on any time frame, because they have a very good chance of a bounce, recovery and continuation. So far after this golden cross, we had a 36.5% move up on the Bitcoin pair. So, you know, this is XRP versus Bitcoin. You know, back down here, I did say that this is a rounded bottom that's likely to lead to a bigger move. I was laughed at. I was laughed at. But, you know, who's laughing now? But yeah, I was humiliated online. That's what happened to me when I said that, but, you know, I can take it. But anyway, what we're looking at for this is we've got a conversion baseline cross above the cloud. The cheeky span is floating inside the price, so it's not anything special. You need this cheeky span to break out of price. But, you know, this week it does have to get a fair bit higher. But next week it can stay at this level, and then in the weeks that follow it can actually go lower, as long as we maintain the positive cross, which is this blue crossing this red, forming the conversion baseline cross. And obviously the price action's above the cloud as well, so you're getting very close to a trend signal with a golden cross in play on XRP to BTC on the weekly. It's a powerful signal, really, powerful setup. That's everything you'd ever really want. And because it's a trend signal, you just let it go up. There's not really... You look at supports and resistances always. You look at bearish and bullish divergence always. But generally, that's a good setup for what should be continuation. And look, I'm not here to change the goalpost. I'm just saying, if we took out the idea of crypto market cycles, whatever, and you looked at a chart like that, you'd be like, you know what? You know, let's just say you were blissfully ignorant about cycles and that cycles weren't a thing. You'd be like, well, that's a chart that wants to trend up for a long period of time. And I bloody hope it does, because I could fill my bath up with XRP and swim in it. Could probably fill up 2 baths. Got quite a lot, let's just put it like that. Right, so let's have a look at the daily for Bitcoin, XRP versus Bitcoin. So it's very similar to the tether pair, isn't it, in its formation? You can see it quite clearly. But now, I suppose no matter which way you want to, you know, cut it, you want to slice it up, it does look more like a breakout than the tether pair, but similar in its itchy cloud. You've got red portion of the cloud, price action sitting in the cloud, cheeky spans above the cloud, but it's not enough to forge any kind of setup or signal. So this one, yeah, we'll just say that it's still consolidating until we get a candle body break above 2701 sats really. Probably a little higher than that, just for safety. Yeah, but around those areas, we had the sort of bit of hidden bullish divergence here. Don't be surprised if it comes back down a little bit further, 257. But if it does, it should, because this is a strong chart. Again, golden crosses on simples and exponentials. It should find support no lower than 2390 or somewhere along those lines. It's consolidated long enough, and I'm looking for it to go. Now, last little piece of the chart, we're going to look at the 4 hourly. So the 4 hourly got quite hot over here, 92. We don't have any golden crosses on this one. We don't even have any itchy signals on this one either. So it's unfortunate, because we were having such a great time looking at the high term time frames. And now we have to reflect on what it's going to do in the short term. And actually, in the short term, it's not convincing. We've got above the cloud, we've got a leading portion of the cloud which is green. We've got a positive cross down here. We're waiting for the cheeky span to get out of the cloud, similar to what happened on the tether pair. Once you've done that, you would be calling it a pump signal. The next pump should take you to around this area, which is our previous high, our previous local high. You can also extend that to see this little high over here, and anything a bit more, well, yeah, I suppose a little bit going on at this level overall, and that area is 257. I recognise that number, 257. Where was the 257? 257. Well, it is a number to remember, but at the same time, it's basically our next level of resistance. We're not quite there to pump, and we are quite hot, and we have received several drives of bearish divergence, hidden bearish divergence at least anyway. So I'm asking for a small pullback to get picked up on this chart around 258 or thereabouts, and then hopefully continue with everything that we see that is bullish. I'll tell you what, while we're here, a few minutes to go, we might as well look at Bitcoin, just give an idea of what's happening. Death cross retest, trend signal. Well, we do have a trend signal. It's got 2 hours for it to clear this hurdle over here. It's got to get above 113,000. Otherwise, this cheeky span closes in the price, and this trend signal on the itchy cloud is cancelled out. So I'm not going to say this is anything special. And to be honest with you, we had a negative cross here, followed by a positive cross here. Normally, those sort of setups are they're not void, but they're less convincing. That's your 4 hourlies basically struggling with that death cross. Moving to the daily. Well, we're above the Bollinger Band for the first time in a little while now. When was the last time we were above here? All the way back in August 2025. So we reclaimed it yesterday. We've basically attempted a support on it today. You can see the candle body over here, just sort of having a little bit of a bounce on it. And your 50 exponential is also the 113,000. So if we can get above 113,000, preferably within the next 2 hours, we should be looking for continuation immediately, back up to the top of this previous range. We call it 117,000. So I like it at the moment. Why wouldn't you? I do like it. And obviously the weekly has been good for a little while. And 21 exponential, attempted continuation, and this is the name of the game, isn't it, really? So the high term time frame still favour further upside continuation. It's still a bull market as far as the high term time frame is concerned. If you see these areas get lost, that's a different story, but for the moment it's good. So mostly an XRP video, a little bit of a Bitcoin recap. I'll leave it with you there, and maybe I'll see you on the Patreon tomorrow night for a live stream. We can look at all kinds of stuff. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.